Welcome to Whisperer of Madness. If you're enjoying the story, consider liking the video and subscribing. It really helps grow the channel and this community. Ningxiu immediately recalled every moment when the Buddha Heart Demon Seal was activated and summarized their common points. He quickly discovered, every time the treasure seal was activated, it was when he was feeling restless and his mental state was unbalanced. It was when he formally took action, using the heart seal to command the mechanical monkeys to riot. It was when Zhu Xuanji saved Yuan Dasheng. It was when Ningxiu broke into the backyard bedroom and saw the unconscious Yuan Dasheng, almost wanting to take direct action. When Yuan refused to hand over Yuan Dasheng after being subdued, Ningxiu's anxiety made him want to take action as well. Is this the clash of fates, making my mind unstable, emotions nearly out of control? If a mistake is made, it will definitely give Yuan Dasheng a new chance at life. On one hand, I relied on reason to force myself to remain calm. On the other hand, the Buddha Heart Demon Seal also secretly supported me, helping me at least 4 times. To save others is to walk the path of demons. To save oneself is to walk the path of Buddha. After discovering this truth, Ningxiu broke out in a cold sweat once more. It turned out that many hidden dangers were lurking in this matter, which Ningxiu had not realized at all. If he had not learned about the theory of fate from Han Ming, he might not have understood it for a long time. From this, it seems that the Buddha Heart Demon Seal should be a treasure capable of guarding one's fate. Activating the Buddha statue to save oneself can avoid emotional interference brought about by the clash of fates and strictly prevent mistakes on one's part. Ningxiu secretly rejoiced that through this incident, he had discovered another function of the Buddha Heart Demon Seal. However, in this way, my talent becomes uncertain. Previously, he had estimated his talent to be superior, but now he might only have upper-class talent. The reason he was able to eliminate Yuan Dasheng this time was partly due to Yuan dragging Yuan Dasheng down and partly due to his own Buddha Heart Demon Seal protecting him. Ningxiu sat cross-legged on a cushion, cultivating the mirror stand spirit communication technique. The clear mirror has no doubts, nurturing the heart's ride. Seeing that the 5 aggregates are all empty, overcoming all suffering and disasters. Reflect on the emptiness of all phenomena, neither arising nor ceasing, neither defiled nor pure, neither increasing nor decreasing. Reflect back on one's nature. Hold this long in the heart, without form, sensation, perception, mental formations, or consciousness, without eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, or mind, without form, sound, smell, taste, touch, or dharma, without the realm of eyes to the realm of consciousness, without ignorance and also without the end of ignorance. After an incense stick's time, Ningxiu slowly opened his eyes with a slight smile on his face. 3rd layer of spirit refining. Now I can push open that Buddhist door and begin exploring. After understanding the theory of fate, Ningxiu pondered where his opportunity lay. The most likely place was the Magma Fairy Palace. He simultaneously cultivated the 3 elixir fields, currently at the 3rd layer of Qi refinement, the 3rd layer of essence refining, and though spirit refining was slower, it had now caught up. Without hesitation, Ningxiu immediately responded to the mark of the trial disciple, and his soul entered the Immortal Palace. Relying on various spells, Ningxiu advanced effortlessly, quickly reaching the front of the 3 gates. The checkpoints of the Dao sect and the Demon sect were quite challenging. Ningxiu did have hopes of passing through them, but it would require a lot of time and effort. With the death crisis previously brought by Yuan Dasheng, Ningxiu could only first resolve the crisis. What lies beyond the Buddhist door? I hope it brings good changes for me. Ningxiu pushed the door open and entered. The room behind the door was filled with coffins. Not only on the ground, but coffins also stood embedded in the walls, and several coffins hung from the ceiling by iron chains. This scene was beyond Ningxiu's expectations. At least it's not the obstacles or puppets of the Dao and Demon sects. At this moment, the dragon turtle fire spirit wore a grave and solemn expression, its gaze piercingly fixed on Ningxiu. Although it did not want to give any hints, it had no choice but to transmit crucial information to Ningxiu's heart through the life-hanging thread. Use the mirror stand spirit communication technique, sense the spiritual nature within the coffins through them. Once successful, the coffin lid can be pushed open. Choose one, send it to the cremation furnace, and obtain the spirit rhythm mechanism artifact. You can also send external corpses to the furnace to acquire the corresponding mechanism. Note, this mechanism requires careful maintenance and can be transported in and out of the magma fairy palace. Receiving the information, Ningxiu immediately tried it out. His mirror stand spirit communication technique indeed reached the third layer, so communicating with some of the coffins on the ground was not difficult. Soon, he pushed open a few coffins and found inside them, respectively, a runaway fire snake, a fire velvet mouse, and a flame shadow flower. All things have spiritual nature. Ningxiu tried connecting with the vertical coffins embedded in the surrounding walls. While the communication was difficult, he vaguely sensed that they were still the beasts and spirit plants of Fire Persimmon Mountain. Only their strength and foundation in life were a notch higher. From this, it seems the bodies in the hanging coffins must be of the highest grade. Ningxiu tilted his head and used the hangman's noose to hoist himself up. He touched the surface of a hanging coffin with both hands, fully activating the mirror stand spirit communication technique. This time, the sensing was faint, very blurry and weak. The dragon turtle fire spirit watched intently, monitoring Ningxiu's every move, its dragon claws clenched in anxiety. After the investigation, Ningxiu looked around, finally fixing his gaze on a vertical coffin in the wall. Given my current spirit refining level, the runaway fire snake in this coffin is the best target. Thinking this, Ningxiu tilted his head and extended the hanging line to lower himself, then walked to the target vertical coffin. The dragon turtle fire spirit let out a hum, impatient to see Ningxiu sense this coffin. But Ningxiu stopped moving, caught in hesitation. The dragon turtle fire spirit grew even more anxious, letting out a low roar and spitting a flame, as if urging Ningxiu. When Ningxiu lowered his head in thought, standing still, the dragon turtle fire spirit sensed something was wrong, starting to scratch the ground with its hind paws, clearly agitated. What captured Ningxiu's attention was a passage in the information. One could also send external corpses to the cremation furnace to acquire the corresponding mechanism. The more Ningxiu thought about it, the more curious he became. If I capture a golden core stage demon beast alive and send it into the magma fairy palace, can I get an artifact far surpassing the standard spirit rhythm mechanism? Of course, he could not capture a golden core stage demon beast. Ningxiu naturally thought of Yuan Dasheng. Yuan Dasheng's soul was attached to the righteous golden firmness, making it hard to deal with. Ningxiu planned to dig out the bones to create a mechanism. But now, a ready-made opportunity was right in front of him. He didn't need to deal with Yuan Dasheng's corpse himself, just bring it here and let the magma fairy palace handle it. Then he could obtain a corresponding mechanism. This made Ningxiu more and more excited. On one hand, it saved him a lot of trouble and eliminated many potential risks. After all, the sooner Yuan Dasheng's corpse was dealt with, the better. On the other hand, Ningxiu always thought that his mechanical techniques were not very advanced. He had more faith in the craft of the three ancestral masters. Bring Yuan Dasheng's corpse in. Ningxiu made the decision. But how to bring it in? Ningxiu asked in his heart. In theory, the dragon turtle fire spirit should have given the answer at this point. But at this moment, the dragon turtle fire spirit had its mouth tightly shut. No matter how the fire whip lashed it, it stubbornly endured without responding. Ningxiu exited the Immortal Palace and returned to the outside world. He went to Yuan Dasheng's corpse, thought for a moment, and then re-injected the essence blood he had previously drawn back into the ape's body. He took out 2 storage bags filled with supplies and placed them respectively on and inside the ape's body. Then he lay down beside the corpse, one hand touching the ape's corpse while sensing the trial disciple mark. In the next moment, he found himself back in the room behind the Buddhist door with Yuan Dasheng's corpse beside him. It had worked. Magma Fairy Palace. As Ningxiu's soul returned to his body, the puppet body he was inhabiting clattered to the ground in pieces. However, as Ningxiu quickly came back, the puppet body on the ground rapidly reassembled and soon stood up again. At the same time, a teleportation ring spat out Yuan Dasheng's corpse. Upon seeing this, the dragon turtle fire spirit felt its vision darken. The scenario at least wanted to see had happened. For a moment, it glared at Ningxiu with wide dragon eyes, nostrils flaring, and sparks flying from its breath with every exhale. But Ningxiu did not feel a thing. The dragon turtle fire spirit's breathing became increasingly intense, and it let out an enraged roar towards the sky. The roar reverberated in all directions, causing the entire immortal palace to tremble. The sound waves quickly spilled out, causing the lava to splatter and disperse a large cloud of smoke at the peak of Fire Persimmon Mountain. City Lord Meng Kui suddenly opened his eyes, immediately stopping his cultivation. Again! In the main hall of the Magma Fairy Palace, the dragon turtle fire spirit was frantically darting around in the air, continuously spewing columns of fire, burning everything in sight as if it had gone mad. The Magma Fairy Palace became increasingly chaotic. In the reflection of the soaring flames, Meng Kui's expression grew darker. Ning Zhu was completely unaware of this. In the room he was in, everything was tranquil and peaceful. After quickly examining Yuan Dasheng's corpse, he felt both surprised and disappointed. The surprise was that he had successfully brought Yuan Dasheng's corpse into the Magma Fairy Palace on his first attempt. This was a brand new experience for him. The disappointment was that he had specially hidden storage bags, both above and inside Yuan Dasheng's body, but neither of the bags had been transported over. I had been sensing my Buddha heart demon seal throughout the process of entering the palace, he muttered. Sigh, if only I could bring in a large amount of materials. The resources within the Magma Fairy Palace are almost all consumed by the limited spirit stones. If he had an abundant supply of resources, Ning Zhu was confident he could fortify the first 3 checkpoints impenetrably. After composing himself, Ning Zhu began to think about what to do next. He had successfully brought in the monkey's corpse, but how could he hand over the monkey's corpse to the Immortal Palace? He had no idea how this step would work, and he was seriously lacking information. This information was supposed to be provided promptly by the dragon turtle fire spirit, but now it was gritting its teeth and frantically escaping in the main hall. Chasing after it was a fire whip. Crack, crack, crack. The fire whip kept lashing at the dragon turtle fire spirit, even as it circled the pillars at high speed. On the peak of Fire Persimmon Mountain, Meng Kui mustered all his strength, frantically casting spells, summoning a giant hand to press down on the Magma Fairy Palace. The beams of precious light emanating from the Immortal Palace quickly pierced through the giant hand. Meng Kui sighed helplessly and had no choice but to activate the Fire Persimmon Immortal City Great Array. Borrowing the power of the array, he finally managed to stabilize the situation. What on earth is causing the dragon turtle fire spirit's frenzy? This time, the scale of the chaos in the Magma Fairy Palace was unprecedented. As a result, it exerted immense pressure on Meng Kui. Meng Kui could even hear the thick sense of unwillingness, rage, and helplessness mixed in the dragon's roar that echoed outside the palace. And also the sounds of painful wailing. Initially, there had been only one fire whip whipping the dragon turtle fire spirit, but as it stubbornly resisted and neglected its duties, more and more fire whips started materializing. 5 or 6 fire whips chased the dragon turtle fire spirit, beating it relentlessly. The entire spirit body of the dragon turtle fire spirit became dim and insubstantial from the constant lashes, and it could no longer hold out. It had to speak up and convey the crucial information. Ning Zhu, in his room, was about to try something when he received the information and frowned slightly. It seems like the Magma Fairy Palace has been severely damaged. Such important information should be communicated immediately. There was no time for hesitation, so Ning Zhu followed the instructions and dragged Yuan Dasheng's corpse to the door. His small puppet body found dragging Yuan Dasheng's corpse extremely difficult and time-consuming. Once Yuan Dasheng's body was dragged in front of the door, a teleportation ring immediately appeared and swallowed it. The dragon turtle fire spirit curled up in a corner, enduring the continuous lashes of the fire whips with great pain. The expression on its dragon's face, besides the pain, also showed a sense of utter desolation. It knew that Ning Zhu had made the most appropriate choice. Even if Ning Zhu had brought the corpse of a golden core stage cultivator and created a spirit rhythm mechanism, Ning Zhu would not have been able to control it. But Yuan Dasheng was not a golden core. He was at the 3rd level of qi refinement, 9th level of body refinement. Using him as raw material, the crafted mechanism artifact would be just on the edge of Ning Zhu's control limits. The key component was the immortal aptitude. Materials with immortal aptitude were extremely rare and highly valuable. The Magma Fairy Palace had 4 types of furnaces: bronze furnace, iron furnace, silver furnace, and golden furnace. To refine materials with immortal aptitude, one had to use the golden furnace. Once used to refine immortal materials, even the golden furnace could only be used once. Since the Magma Fairy Palace had been built, there were at most 8 golden furnaces, and now only 4 were left. So to refine Yuan Dasheng, they had no choice but to use up another. The dragon turtle fire spirit absolutely did not want to see this happen, but reality was exceptionally cruel. It had no choice but to follow through, controlling the entire immortal palace to throw Yuan Dasheng's corpse into the golden furnace. The golden furnace began its refinement. A massive amount of spiritual power was consumed, and a magnificent beam of precious light shot from the golden furnace. The radiance was incredibly dazzling, piercing the sky like a giant pillar. What is happening now? Meng Qi wondered in bewilderment and quickly used the great array to wave smoke clouds, trying his best to obscure the towering pillar of light. If only I could enter the immortal palace. Meng Qi gritted his teeth in frustration and sighed. His proficiency in mechanism art was very low. To be more precise, it was extremely low by the nascent soul cultivator standard. As a result, he had not been selected to enter the Magma Fairy Palace. In this regard, he was even less qualified than some of the Golden Core and Foundation establishment cultivators who had entered the palace after the standards had been lowered. None of his 2 Golden Core subordinates had been chosen by the Immortal Palace either. Some of his Foundation establishment subordinates had been selected and could enter the Immortal Palace, but their overall advantage was not significant, and they could not outpace the Zhou family and the Zheng family. Because of this, after the Magma Fairy Palace emerged, Meng Qi personally stationed himself at the mountain peak. Under the pretext of investigation, he blocked the entire Immortal Palace, temporarily preventing any cultivators from entering. The Zhou family and Zheng family expressed objections, but were firmly turned down by Meng Qi. After all, City Lord's mansion had also not sent any cultivators to storm the Immortal Palace directly in person. City Lord Meng Qi represented the Southern Bean dynasty, using the investigation of demon cultivators as an excuse. The other 2 families had no choice but to monitor the Immortal Palace to prevent the City Lord's mansion from secretly sending people in. Chang'er is still my greatest hope. Meng Qi had immense confidence in Meng Chong. Especially recently, Meng Chong had made a significant breakthrough, taking the frenzied rushing thunder technique to a new level, showing immense progress. Chang'er has superior talent and an overwhelming destiny. Any pressure will only make him stronger. In a fair competition, who can suppress him? The pillar of precious light gradually dispersed, and the Magma Fairy Palace returned to tranquility once more. Meng Qi chuckled with satisfaction. At the same time, a teleportation ring reappeared in front of Ning Zhuo. From the ring, a mechanism monkey slowly floated down. It's already done. Ning Zhuo felt a rush of excitement as he stepped forward to inspect. It seemed to hear the sound of footsteps. The mechanism monkey opened its eyes slowly, raising its head. It gazed at Ning Zhuo, its pupils glowing with a blood-red light, exuding a formidable aura. Ning Zhuo slowed his steps. At this moment, Yuan Dasheng had been reborn. Although this mechanical monkey was only half the height of Yuan Dasheng, it was extremely robust and majestic. Its overall color scheme was gold and red. The monkey fur was blood red, and golden bars were exposed over various parts of its body, with gold edges embedded within. The metal strips varied in length and thickness and were interconnected, resembling a set of hollow golden armor worn by the mechanical monkey. However, on closer inspection, one could see that these were actually the mechanical monkey's exposed bones. Its forehead, eyebrow corners, and nasal bridge were all made of metal. The mechanical monkey's appearance bore a strong resemblance to Yuan Dasheng. Its pupils were like blood jade, and below the deep-set eye sockets were 2 pronounced dark shadows. The wooden puppet Ning Zhu ran in front of the mechanical monkey, looked up at it in admiration, and circled around it. Its small wooden hands reached out, sometimes pinching the mechanical monkey's thigh, and at other times, flexing its fingers to tap the exposed metal bones. It's a pity that the puppet's body lacks divine sense and can't penetrate internally to examine it. Ning Zhu lamented, his curiosity growing with each breath. At this moment, a message was conveyed. Golden blood battle ape. Crafted with vermilion fire glaze fired from vermilion flame stone, this formed the battle ape's body. Combining Immortal spirit wood with red gold Xuan iron, the ape's entire body was created with Vajra bone, incredibly resilient. The surface of the Vajra bone was inscribed with the full prohibitions of the Vajra body protection technique, making this Vajra skeleton itself a powerful defensive magic artifact. The battle ape's palms housed 18 martial arts talismans. Inside its head was a mass of immortal condensing cloud vapor. Every drop of the vapor could serve as a thought for contemplation. This was the first extensive piece of information Ningxiu had received since entering the palace. The contents were very rich, causing the wooden puppet Ningxiu to stand in place and savor it for a long while. Yuan Dasheng's body and soul were used as the primary materials to create this mechanism artifact. It has no memory of the past, but because of its spiritual nature, some actions printed deep within its heart may still remain. What caught Ningxiu's attention the most was this sentence: endowed with 80% spiritual nature, capable of exhibiting righteous golden firmness. Spiritual nature, Ningxiu muttered to himself. Spiritual nature was extraordinary. According to cultivation knowledge, the treasures used by cultivators were classified into talismans, magic artifacts, magical treasures, and spiritual treasures. What made spiritual treasures special was their spiritual nature. In some large-scale cultivation sects or families, spiritual treasures could even communicate normally with people, possessing considerable spiritual wisdom. The mechanism artifacts created by the Magma Fairy Palace possess spiritual nature. Doesn't this mean it can produce spiritual treasures in batches? No wonder the 3 ancestral masters are revered as masters of the cultivating the void level. But 80% spiritual nature, why not 100%? What would happen if it had 100%? How can one increase spiritual nature? The more Ningxiu pondered, the more questions filled his mind. However, his thoughts also bore fruit. He realized the intention behind the 3 ancestral masters setting these arrangements in the room behind the Buddhist sect. Endowing mechanism artifacts with spiritual nature was clearly meant to be paired with the mirror stand spirit communication technique. This Buddhist sect technique specialized in spirit refining, constructing a divine sense mirror in the Danshan area of the divine sea to communicate with all beings possessing spiritual nature. Now, wasn't the golden blood battle ape right before Ningxiu the perfect target? Ningxiu thought of this and activated the mirror stand spirit communication technique. Although he had a puppet's body and lacked a Danshan in the divine sea, the life-hanging thread was always linked to his flesh, allowing him to connect to his divine sea and activate the divine sense mirror. Soon, he established a close connection with the golden blood war monkey mechanism through the divine sense mirror. Forward, backward, move left, turn right, Ningxiu ordered in his mind, and the golden blood battle ape executed each command. Roll, stick out your tongue, stick out your butt. Ningxiu tried ordering the mechanical battle ape to perform more intricate movements. The mechanical battle ape complied, but also conveyed a sense of impatience. Ningxiu was astonished and excited. A creature with spiritual nature is indeed unique. It even throws a tantrum. He proceeded to attempt communicating with the golden blood battle ape. Although it couldn't converse, it could convey emotions and some basic responses. Mostly, the response was, "Master, what do you need me to do? Please command." Although it was constructed using Yuan Dasheng's corpse, it possessed spiritual nature but no memory. Even if it had memories, Yuan Dasheng wouldn't have known until his death that Ningxiu was his betrayer. The more Ningxiu experimented, the more excited he became, discovering that the golden blood battle ape could execute relatively complex commands. Generally, for most mechanism artifacts, even if Ningxiu employed the heart seal, he would need to constantly direct them, his mind tethered to the task. With the golden blood battle ape, however, it was almost akin to having a subordinate cultivator. Once he issued a command, it would follow through on its own. Wonderful, truly wonderful. Ningxiu led the golden blood battle ape and formally opened the door, entering the second trial beyond the Buddhist sect. As soon as they entered, a cage dropped down. Ningxiu tried to dodge, but the surrounding space was confined, and he found himself trapped in the cage. In contrast, the golden blood battle ape remained free. At this moment, a message was conveyed. Control the golden blood battle ape to protect oneself and repel 6 waves of attacking puppets. In the darkness, a dozen pairs of eyes lit up. Soon after, nearly 10 mechanical wolves charged forward. The pack of wolves rushed at Ningxiu. Ningxiu realized what was happening and immediately issued a command to the golden blood battle ape. The golden blood battle ape stepped into battle. Its movements were agile, showcasing exquisite martial arts, repeatedly tearing the mechanical wolves apart in close combat. Ningxiu didn't intervene. Solely relying on the golden blood battle ape, they withstood 5 waves of enemies. In the final wave, 30 or so kung fu dolls appeared. The golden blood battle ape was struggling against the sheer numbers, so Ningxiu, through the mirror, cast spells to assist. The spiritual energy stored within the golden blood battle ape was consumed under Ningxiu's guidance, enveloping the battle ape's hands in a breeze which significantly increased its speed. He also utilized the battle ape's ice gold aura to freeze its enemies. With Ningxiu's intervention, the tide of the battle quickly turned in favor of the golden blood battle ape, which ultimately won with ease. Logically, this trial's difficulty should match those of the Taoist sect and demon sect, yet I didn't find it challenging. Is the golden blood battle ape too exceptional? Ningxiu had guessed correctly. He continued to push through the doors but encountered difficulties at the 3rd trial. I need much more practice to coordinate with the golden blood battle ape. This time I ventured alone through the Buddhist sect, and I am lacking blood qi. The Magma Fairy Palace changes every 3 trials. I wonder what good things the Buddhist sect route will offer after this checkpoint. Ningxiu probed for a while, and then wisely retreated. He didn't rush to the demon sect to absorb blood qi, but instead attempted to leave the Immortal Palace. A message was sent, asking Ningxiu whether to leave the mechanical monkey or take it with him. Ningxiu tried both options, confirming that he could indeed bring the golden blood battle ape in and out as he pleased. He was pleasantly surprised to discover that even if he left the golden blood battle ape within the Immortal Palace, he could still observe it and issue commands through the divine sense mirror. So, does this mean I can? Soon after, the puppet Meng Chong had also passed through room 2. I trained intensively day and night. Now room 2 can't hinder me in the slightest. Ha ha ha. Meng Chong laughed heartily, pushing open the door and entering room 3 once more. Inside room 3, numerous wooden puppets quickly swarmed in for the kill. Frenzied rushing thunder. Meng Chong unleashed his immortal power, moving like lightning, weaving freely among the kung fu dolls. Sometimes he sped up, and sometimes he slowed down, but when he accelerated again, frenzied rushing thunder's speed surpassed its previous limits. Meng Chong's control over his immortal aptitude reached a new height. Just as he was about to push through the room's door, having knocked down all the kung fu dolls, the golden blood battle ape activated by Ningxiu appeared. Oh, there's one more stray fish. Meng Chong clenched his fists and charged forward. Wham! In the next moment, he was slammed to the ground by the golden blood battle ape's powerful over-the-shoulder throw. Meng Chong was stunned for a moment, then quickly stood up and roared ferociously. Come again, I will crush you. Magma Fairy Palace, room number 3. The puppet Meng Chong was surrounded by electric light and rushed towards golden-blooded war ape Dasheng like a thunderbolt. At the moment they crossed paths, Dasheng seized the fleeting opportunity, grabbed Meng Chong's arms with his large hands, and performed an over-the-shoulder throw. Bang! Meng Chong was smashed onto the tiles, his vision spinning. Then he saw Dasheng's broad foot stepping towards him, the wind whistling sharply. Meng Chong's heart trembled, and he shouted in his mind, frenzied rushing thunder. Electric light surged around him, and he disappeared from where he stood. The next moment, Dasheng's right foot came crashing down, shattering the floor tiles. Meng Chong created some distance, spiritual power surging around him, his heart heavy. He had already been thrown twice by Dasheng. This is a formidable enemy. Meng Chong quickly adjusted his mindset. Yuan Dasheng missed his strike and remained motionless. The scene fell into a temporary stalemate. Outside the Immortal Palace, Ningxiu sat cross-legged on a meditation cushion in his underground workspace at home. His eyes were tightly shut, his mind fully focused on the battle within the Immortal Palace. One side was Meng Chong, and the other was Yuan Dasheng. Both had immortal aptitude. Meng Chong's puppet body, in terms of material and structure, is far inferior to golden-blooded war ape Dasheng. This severely affects his combat performance, but with the support of immortal talent Mad-Thunder, he still poses a significant threat. He is still alive, and his combat intelligence far surpasses that of spiritual Dasheng. Golden-blooded war ape Dasheng's advantage lies in its mechanical body crafted by the Magma Fairy Palace, with materials and construction far surpassing Meng Chong's puppet. Its deficiency, however, is with only 80% spiritual nature. It is not a real living being and lacks the unpredictability of Meng Chong. According to the Magma Fairy Palace, even with 80% spiritual nature, it can still use immortal aptitude righteous golden firmness. I wonder what it will look like when truly executed. Ningxiu continuously assessed the combat power of both sides in his mind. He paid great attention to this battle. The result of this battle would greatly influence his future decisions. Frenzied rushing thunder, Meng Chong called softly in his mind, then suddenly launched a third charge at golden-blooded war ape Dasheng. Meng Chong rapidly closed the distance, almost reaching Dasheng's front. When he saw Dasheng extend his hands, his spirit surged, and he exerted all his strength. In an instant, electric light burst from the puppet's body, causing Meng Chong's speed to surge once more. This was the result of his recent special training. His vision blurred, and he circled behind Yuan Dasheng. Success! Meng Chong was overjoyed, preparing to strike Yuan Dasheng's back. But in the next moment, his legs and feet were yanked, throwing his entire body out of balance, and his offensive collapsed abruptly. As Meng Chong's body tilted severely and he toppled to the ground, he saw the culprit that had caused his downfall. Damn, it's the monkey's tail. Yuan Dasheng's tail, like a whip, had wrapped around Meng Chong's left leg. Then, Yuan Dasheng let out a low roar, turned around, took a step forward, and raised his fist to strike Meng Chong. Meng Chong, suspended in midair, felt his vision darken as Yuan Dasheng, like a mountain, toppled towards him, quickly filling his field of view. Yuan Dasheng's raised fist resembled a meteor falling to the ground, breaking through the air with a fierce whistling sound, causing Meng Chong's heart to quake wildly. Frenzied rushing thunder. Meng Chong exerted all his strength to use his immortal aptitude. Electric light burst forth, allowing him to break free from the monkey tail's bind, regaining his freedom and dodging quickly. Bang! In the next instant, Yuan Dasheng's fist, like a steel hammer, struck the ground, shattering the tiles. Electric light cornered the wall, and as it dissipated, it revealed puppet Meng Chong. Seeing Yuan Dasheng's fist almost embedded in the tiles, Meng Chong couldn't help but take a deep breath. If that hit had landed on him, his fragile puppet body would have undoubtedly been wrecked. Such peril only ignited more fighting spirit in Meng Chong. Ha ha ha! He laughed loudly. Only such a challenge is fun. Then, his entire body was enveloped in a dazzling electric light as he launched another charge. He continuously activated his immortal aptitude, but did not easily approach Yuan Dasheng. He seemed to transform into a streak of electric light, weaving through room number 3. The electric light moved so fast that it left afterimages of lightning in Yuan Dasheng's eyes. As time passed, more and more afterimages of lightning filled the room, intertwining as if creating a giant net intended to trap Yuan Dasheng. Ningxiu, upon seeing this, felt a stir in his heart. This is Meng Chong withstanding the intense pressure and making a breakthrough in the midst of battle. He can maintain top speed, and this speed even exceeds the previous limit by a bit. This is superior talent, huh? Witnessing all this personally made Ningxiu marvel at such exceptional talent. The electric light filled room number 3, while Yuan Dasheng stood like an old tree, silently. It could only defend passively. At Meng Chong's speed, it couldn't keep up. Spiritual nature told it that remaining unchanged in the ever-changing battlefield was the best strategy. Suddenly, the electric light strayed and smashed into Yuan Dasheng. Yuan Dasheng extended his hand to block. With a bang, after the collision, it staggered back a large step. Whereas the electric light that once was Meng Chong rebounded off the wall and quickly regained lost speed, continuing to dart across the room. Meng Chong occasionally launched assaults, and Yuan Dasheng, unable to match his speed, began accumulating more scars under passive defense. Meng Chong laughed heartily, knowing he had the upper. This mechanical monkey's close combat ability is too strong. It's at least that of a martial arts master, or rather a martial arts master. But it can't keep up with my speed. As long as I can continue to sprint, I'll surely wear it down. As Meng Chong thought this, his expression suddenly changed drastically. Crackling. The electric light on his body flickered twice and then became very weak. He exposed a lethal vulnerability. Almost instantly, Yuan Dasheng let out a loud roar and took consecutive steps forward. After 2 or 3 steps, it was right in front of Meng Chong. Yuan Dasheng shrugged and charged, and with Meng Chong's state suddenly plummeting, he couldn't dodge and was hit directly. Bang. Like a giant cannonball, puppet Meng Chong was smashed into the wall, his right leg breaking off upon impact. His entire puppet body rebounded a short distance after hitting the wall. Meng Chong had just raised his head when a gust of wind swept by, and Yuan Dasheng appeared like a black mountain. Yuan Dasheng raised his leg, his knee like a steel spike, tearing through the air with a howling sound. Instinctively, Meng Chong extended his hands, crossing them in front of his chest to protect himself. Bang. The next moment, Yuan Dasheng's knee shattered Meng Chong's puppet hands and forearms, utterly decimating them. Meng Chong's chest suffered severe damage, shattering significantly, and he was violently hurled towards the ceiling. His back slammed into the ceiling, causing countless cracks to appear. Meng Chong gritted his teeth, the brutal beating fueling his rage and battle spirit to the maximum. Unfortunately, frenzied rushing thunder couldn't be activated. He twisted in midair, adjusting his posture, head down and feet up. Pushing off the ceiling with a single foot, he shot diagonally, trying to evade Yuan Dasheng's follow-up attack. Yuan Dasheng stood his ground, watching Meng Chong shoot diagonally away. Yuan Dasheng's chest showed a noticeable rise and fall, as if taking a deep breath. His right palm trembled slightly, and the runes inscribed inside began to emit a radiant glow. Let out a low roar, its feet and hands stepping on the wall, its golden body rising like a dragon. With a few leaps, it arrived beneath Meng Chong. At the moment of exertion, its body suddenly spread out, like a giant war bow being drawn, showcasing the beauty of power. Its right arm thrust out fiercely, clearly with great force, yet it felt light and agile, like a crane spreading its wings. Then Dasheng's palm fell gently, its 5 fingers nimble as if it were still alive, landing on the puppet's head of Meng Chong. A light twist, a quick wrench. When it landed on the ground, its toes touched first, and then its arms, like a cloak, wings against its sides, slid down swiftly, bringing a bright red shadow. The gust of wind howled, but when it landed, it was nearly silent. In stark contrast was the sound of Meng Chong hitting the ground. A loud bang reverberated inside checkpoint number 3. Yuan Dasheng let out a light breath, looked at the severed head of Meng Chong in his hand, then flipped his wrist, and let the head roll out like a wooden ball. The head rolled a short distance due to the movement before coming to a rest on the ground. Despite the limited expressiveness of the puppet's head, one could still see a hint of Meng Chong's shocked expression at the moment of the fatal blow. Meanwhile, at the city lord's mansion, Meng Chong's eyes snapped open. He looked as if awoken from a nightmare, the sensation of death so vivid, deeply shaking his soul. Huff, huff, huff! He panted heavily, his whole body drenched in cold sweat. If Han Ming had seen him, he might not have recognized Meng Chong. At this moment, Meng Chong looked emaciated, like a patient with a lingering illness, unable to bask in the sunlight all day. His once robust body had become extremely thin, his cheekbones prominent and his eye sockets deeply sunken. Originally, his eyes were sharp and intimidating, but now his gaze was utterly dim. Strong, that mechanical monkey is so strong, but I will not lose. As long as I train specially, I can definitely make a comeback, defeat it, and pass this checkpoint. Meng Chong was heavily struck but not discouraged. However, just as he tried to sit up, the small movement caused his eyes to go black, and he fainted directly. With a thud, he lay back down on the bed. The servant outside the door, who had heard the commotion, knew that Meng Chong's soul had already returned to his body. Upon hearing the thud, the servant immediately felt uneasy, hurriedly calling out, but received no response from Meng Chong. The 2 servants outside turned red with anxiety, and in their panic decided to break down the door together. Young Master Meng Chong! It's bad, young Master Meng Chong has fainted. The cries for help spread out, and chaos erupted in the back courtyard of the city lord's mansion. Underground workshop. Ningxiu's mouth was slightly open, unable to hide his joy. This outcome was very different from what he had estimated. The joy was a bit overwhelming. The combat power of Golden Blood Battle Ape Dasheng was much higher than Meng Chong's. From this practical test, Although Meng Chang's immortal talent Mad Dash Thunder had improved, it still couldn't match Yuan Dasheng. The turning point was that Meng Chang himself had an issue, seeming unable to use Mad Dash Thunder. Ningxiu speculated this was likely due to soul entering Immortal Palace. Without a physical body, many things were inconvenient, just like Ningxiu needing the life-hanging thread to sense the Buddha heart demon seal. Meng Chang's situation was the same. Activating Mad Dash Thunder continuously consumed essence, qi, and spirit. This consumption was already fierce, and the transfer through the life-hanging thread caused too much loss, and it was used recklessly on the puppet body by Meng Chang. If facing Meng Chang in Fire Persimmon Immortal City, his Mad Dash Thunder would be more effective. On the other hand, because Golden Blood Battle Ape Dasheng was a mechanical monkey, its combat power remained unchanged inside and outside the Immortal Palace. Dasheng's close combat ability was extraordinarily strong. Meng Chang couldn't match it at all. Previously, Meng Chang could rely on immortal aptitude to maintain the situation. Once immortal aptitude couldn't be used and he was closed in by Yuan Dasheng, he had no chance. Summarizing up to here, Ningxiu felt a strong sense of relief again. In analyzing intelligence earlier, he had estimated Yuan Dasheng's close combat prowess, thus avoiding direct confrontation, not even attempting a surprise attack. The facts proved how wise his decision was. If he had used force head-on earlier, he would have been fed to Yuan Dasheng. Ningxiu concentrated, strengthening his connection with Golden Blood Battle Ape Dasheng. A few breaths later, a white circle of light for teleportation emerged out of thin air in front of Ningxiu, expanding until it disgorged Golden Blood Battle Ape Dasheng. Golden Blood Battle Ape Dasheng was shorter than him, but had a more robust build compared to Ningxiu. Even standing still, its red and gold color scheme and firm expression made Ningxiu like it from the bottom of his heart. The boy rubbed his hands together, his smile genuinely reaching the deepest part of his heart. He squeezed a muscle of Yuan Dasheng and felt a chill instead. The fur of the mechanism Yuan Dasheng was very soft, while the exposed golden bones were extremely hard. This texture was something the puppet Ningxiu didn't have. Ningxiu inspected Golden Blood Battle Ape Dasheng and found some new scars on its body. These were left by Meng Chang. The mechanism artifacts by the Magma Fairy Palace for Qi Refinement Realm trial disciples were not made with high-end materials. The three ancestral masters probably wanted to give each trial disciple a relatively fine practice mechanism. If the dragon turtle fire spirit heard this analysis, it would be hopping mad. What did he mean by relatively fine? Was that any way to speak? The Magma Fairy Palace consumed an entire golden furnace for this. The materials used were at the limit of the checkpoint's regulations. Nothing was better than Golden Blood Battle Ape Dasheng. Even compared to the suspended coffins in the checkpoints, Yuan Dasheng was far superior. To make an analogy, the normal standard was wooden knives and wooden swords. Ningxiu's mechanism Yuan Dasheng was like a bronze or iron weapon. Ningxiu attempted to repair the mechanism Yuan Dasheng. The muscle structure made of vermilion fire glaze had many fine cracks. Looking closely at this muscle structure revealed a slight transparency. The information given by the Magma Fairy Palace, though lacked a mechanical diagram, stated the muscle structure was made of vermilion flame stone. Fire Persimmon Mountain had an abundance of vermilion flame stones. Ningxiu had plenty stored in his material warehouse, so he took them out immediately, roasted them, and produced a bright red fluid, clear and luminous. He infiltrated this fluid into the cracks, quickly sealing them completely, making them as good as new. Ningxiu then studied the monkey fur and revealed a troubled expression. He didn't understand how the monkey fur was made. So, he decided to use his method to create some fur for Yuan Dasheng, planting it on the exposed parts of its body. On the surface, it looked consistent with the large areas of the original monkey fur. But Ningxiu knew its defensive performance had decreased significantly. After completing the repairs, Ningxiu started cleaning Yuan Dasheng's entire body. Finally, he took out a handkerchief, occasionally exhaling onto it, polishing the golden bones of Golden Blood Battle Ape Dasheng until they shone bright, without a speck of dust, making him completely satisfied. Just as he was about to study the mechanism Yuan Dasheng in depth, someone delivered a message. The messenger left. Ningxiu opened the letter and read it, raising an eyebrow slightly. The letter informed him to go to the Zhou family tomorrow to check on his cultivation technique progress and to use the Zhou family's formation to aid his cultivation. So the Ning family and Zhou family have formed an alliance. Then the Zheng family must also be involved. The three families are united. What about the city lord's mansion? Ning Zhu was not surprised. This shift in the situation was within his expectations. What he pondered was, what image should he present to the three families? After mulling it over for a little while, Ning Zhu made a decision. It's time to showcase some mechanical talents and steal some attention. Whether it was the Zhou family, the Zheng family, or the Ning family, all took this tripartite joint test very seriously. In the reception hall, the Zhou family's clan leader sat at the head, with the Zheng family's clan leader on his left and the Ning family's clan leader on his right. It's puzzling. That black shadow demon cultivator truly is a mystery, and no one knows where he has disappeared. The Zhou family's clan leader took a sip of tea and put down his cup. This time, our fire persimmon immortal city's reputation is utterly lost. Despite his words, the Zhou family's clan leader's face remained calm, with no trace of anger or shame, and instead he appeared leisurely and composed. This was obviously a probing remark. After the incident, the higher-ups of the Zhou family gradually figured out what had happened. Just as Zhu Xuanji had guessed, the Zhou family was also wondering who was the mole, who had secretly let the black shadow demon cultivator in advance. The Zheng family's clan leader had a loud voice and said directly, "In my opinion, that black shadow demon cultivator had already sneaked away. On the day of the Fire Persimmon Festival, the three of us Golden Core ancestors dug together, almost hollowing out the entire mountain base, but we still couldn't find a single ghostly trace." The Zhou family's clan leader looked at the Ning family's clan leader, his eyes narrowing. "Brother Ning, what do you think?" The Ning family's clan leader spread his hands. "It doesn't matter where the black shadow demon cultivator is from or who he is colluding with. These things aren't important. Currently, Lord Meng Kui is personally sitting at the volcanic peak, blocking all cultivators from entering the Immortal Palace. In this way, only disciples at the Qi refinement realm can use the method of soul entering Immortal Palace to compete for the inheritance of the Immortal Palace. Meng Chang, the direct grandson of Meng Kui, has superior talent. You two brothers must know the significance of immortal aptitude. Our three families can only resist Meng Chang by joining forces, cooperating closely, and fully supporting our younger generations." As he said these words, the Ning family's clan leader had yet to know that Meng Chang had once again failed in exploring the Immortal Palace and had already fallen unconscious. But his words drew approval from the Zhou family and Zheng family clan leaders. The pressure that Meng Chang's immortal aptitude brought to their two families was immense, which was one of the main reasons they agreed to an alliance with the Ning family. The desire for a tripartite alliance was strong, and they were all willing to bring out their family resources to vigorously support the younger generation. But the issue was how to allocate these resources. If your family takes more, my family will have less to use. None of the three families was willing to suffer a loss, so the initial alliance stalled over the distribution of interests. The three families temporarily could not reach an agreement. "Let's wait and see the results of this test first," said the Zhou family's clan leader. The Zheng family's clan leader nodded. "Let's have a good look then." The Ning family's clan leader remained silent, a trace of worry in his eyes. He understood that the joint cultivation test organized by the three families had a deeper layer of meaning beyond the surface. Each family would evaluate the quality of the other's renovation teams to determine resource allocation. The Ning family's clan leader was well aware that his family was the weakest. He could only hope that the gap between them and the Zhou and Zheng families wasn't too large. Ning Zhu was led by a servant to the Zhou family's martial arts field. Many cultivators had already gathered in the square. Almost all were young faces, with few middle-aged or elderly. The crowd was clearly divided into three groups, representing the Zhou family, the Zheng family, and the Ning family. "Zhuo, you're here." Seeing Ning Zhu appear, Ning Yang immediately walked out of the crowd and trotted towards him. Ning Chen was also in the crowd, waving at Ning Zhu. Ning Zhu smiled and waved back. Since he had blown up the Immortal Palace last time, the relationship between Ning Yang, Ning Chen, and himself had qualitatively changed. From ordinary classmates, they had become comrades who had experienced life-and-death battles. The martial arts field was noisy. Ning Zhu and Ning Yang blended into the Ning family's crowd, not very conspicuous. Ning Zhu casually chatted with Ning Yang and Ning Chen while observing the people around him. The scale of the Ning's renovation team has grown. In the martial arts field, the Ning family had the largest number of people, more than 60. The Zhou family and Zheng family had crowds of 29 and 45 people, respectively. The Ning family gathered in one place, appearing very large in number. Many young people scanned back and forth with their eyes, sometimes directly facing the cultivators of the other two families, creating a sense of hidden competition. Ning Zhu pondered secretly. Among the three families, the Ning family started the latest and is overall the weakest. Originally, the renovation team was the smallest in scale. The sudden expansion by the family's higher-ups, is it because they feel lacking in confidence and want to fill in the numbers with people? The Ning family has a strong desire for the Magma Fairy Palace. Ning Zhu also covertly observed the cultivators of the Zhou and Zheng families. The Zhou family cultivators were generally silent, with little communication amongst themselves, giving off a stifling feeling. In the center of their crowd, two figures stood together, one tall, one short, one sturdy, and one thin, clearly exuding a leader's aura. It's Zhou Zhu and Zhou Zeshan. Ning Zhu had a lot of intelligence in his grasp and immediately recognized them. The Zheng family cultivators were muscular, exuding a vigorous vigor. Their eyes were bright. When they looked around, they seemed like sharp weapons, making many Ning family cultivators consciously avoid their gaze. Standing at the front of their group was a young cultivator wearing a headband, with his eyes closed. The notable thing was that several hook-shaped magic artifacts hovered leisurely around him. It's Zheng Jian. Ning Zhu thought to himself. After observing the cultivators of the two families, he glanced back at the Ning families, immediately feeling that although they had more people, they noticeably gave off the feeling of a motley crew. An elder from the Zhou family appeared in front of everyone. He activated the testing array and announced the start of the cultivation technique test. "Dazhu, go," Zhou Zeshan said. "Okay," Zhou Zhu answered sullenly. Although he had a higher cultivation level, he followed behind Zhou Zeshan. Originally, they were in the center of the crowd, but when they started moving, the Zhou family members in front of them seemed to have eyes on their backs and moved aside a few steps. After the two Zhou family geniuses passed by, they immediately returned to their original positions. As Zhou Zhu and Zhou Zeshan walked out, the Zhou family members flowed like water, moving and separating freely, demonstrating a tacit understanding and skillful cooperation in formation. Every step they took seemed to be in perfect harmony, with figures interlacing yet without a trace of chaos, showcasing the grand demeanor of a big family. Ning Zhu's eyes gleamed as he immediately captured the key clues, deducing, these Zhou family cultivators are not ordinary, their coordination is seamless, and they act as one entity. They must have deep expertise in battle formations. The Zhou family's renovation team had the fewest members but could not be underestimated. Seeing this, many knowledgeable cultivators revealed solemn expressions. More people, however, didn't take it to heart, with the Ning family having the most such individuals. Under countless watchful eyes, Zhou Zhu was the first to enter the testing array. After entering the array, he fully activated the 5 elements qi regulation art, causing the array to also emit the light of the 5 elements. The Zhou family's elder took one look and then loudly announced, "Zhou Zhu, 3rd level peak." In an instant, the Zhou family's cultivators all cheered. Obviously prepared, they all shouted in unison, even in tone, making the cultivators from the other two families glance over. Next, Zhou Zeshan entered the array. "Zhou Zeshan, 2nd level midterm," announced the family elder. The Zhou family's cultivators cheered again. Someone in the Zheng family sneered disdainfully. "Is that what you call a genius? How come he's only at the midterm of the 2nd level? I reached the 3rd level." Zheng Jian opened his eyes and glanced lightly at the speaker, who immediately fell silent. This small scene also fell into Ning Zhu's sight. Another useful piece of information. Zheng Jian of the Zheng's renovation team is an absolute leader with high authority. In the reception hall, the Zheng family's clan leader sighed. "Brother Zhou, your family's gathering and dispersing as desired spirit-tied array is indeed handy." The Ning family's clan leader nodded slightly, deeply agreeing. They naturally knew more. They were aware that Zhou Zeshan had only recently started cultivating, yet had reached midterm of the second level. Such speed was exceptionally swift. The Zhou family's clan leader pretended to sigh. Relying solely on the gathering and dispersing as desired spirit tide array, how could such results be possible? Zhou Zeshan, this junior, has been risking his life. Although he does not have Zhou Zhu's talent, he relentlessly pursued with many healing methods. Several times, he was on the brink of death, causing many in the family to worry and be concerned. The Zheng family's clan leader was moved. With such children, how could the family not flourish? The Ning family's clan leader also chimed in with agreement, though his heart grew heavier. Ning Zhuo continued to observe silently. He knew that Zhou Zhu and Zhou Zeshan had both trained at Mudflow sect and was very curious about their mechanical techniques. Unfortunately, today's event did not provide an opportunity for them to showcase their mechanical skills. After the two Zhou family geniuses stepped down, the entire Zhou family renovation team took to the stage, each entering the formation one by one. Middle stage, third level. Middle stage, third level. Early stage, third level. Next came a series of third-level chi refinement levels, starting from the middle stage to the early stage. There were no late-stage third levels. Then came the peak, late stage, middle stage, and early stage second levels, but no cultivators of the first level at all. After this test, the discussions among Zheng and Ning family cultivators quieted notably. Many Zheng family cultivators had solemn expressions, while most of the Ning family cultivators looked more perturbed. Though the Zhou family's renovation team was small in number, it was very elite. Following the order, it was now the Zheng family's turn. Zheng Jian took the lead and was the first to enter the testing formation. Peak, third level, the family elder announced loudly. Oh! The Zheng family cultivators cheered, raising their arms in triumph, causing a much louder commotion than the Zhou family's cheers. They seemed to be competing in this manner. Many young Zhou family cultivators watched silently, most of them with calm expressions. In the reception hall, the Zhou family clan leader complimented. The Zheng family's unity is admirable, fostering prosperity and harmony. This is all thanks to your excellent management, Brother Zheng. The Zheng family clan leader laughed heartily and didn't feign modesty. Just like forging steel, it needs to withstand countless hammer blows and unite tightly to become a good weapon. The Zheng family cultivators were quite boisterous, sometimes cheering, sometimes jeering. It was evident that the Zhou family had pre-tested a round of cultivation levels, entering the formation in descending order of their levels. The Zheng family had not done this. This resulted in variable outcomes when each Zheng family cultivator entered. When a cultivator's test result was good, they cheered loudly. If a companion's result was subpar, some laughed loudly, but it was not malicious. This positive competitive atmosphere made the Ning family clan leader secretly envious. The Ning family used to be like this too. Unfortunately, during the migration, we suffered severe damage. After entering the city, the branch families mutinied, forcing us to implement the strong over the weak strategy. Sigh, only when the main branch is strong in both quality and quantity can we lift the suppression of the branch families step by step, consolidating a fine family tradition. The Ning family clan leader, having held a high position for many years, was well aware of the internal issues within the family. But he had no solution. He was from the main branch, and his origin determined his stance. He couldn't betray the main branch to support the branch families. The branch cultivators wouldn't accept him, and the main branch cultivators would overthrow him. Every family has its own problems, the Ning family clan leader thought as he adjusted his mindset. He was well aware of his renovation team's situation. A large portion was at the first level of chi refinement. The upcoming test results would undoubtedly be grim. Next, it was the Ning family's turn. Ning Xiaohui, with a stern face, walked into the testing formation under the worried gazes of her fellow Ning family members. Peak, third level, the family elder announced. The Ning family cultivators erupted in cheers as well. Zheng Jian and Zhou Zeshan glanced at Ning Xiaohui as she stepped out of the formation, her face still cold, exuding an air of arrogance. In the reception hall, the Zheng family clan leader glanced at the Ning family clan leader. Your Ning Xiaohui hasn't been training long, yet she reached the peak of the third level. The Zhou family clan leader also looked over with a curious expression. The Ning family clan leader stroked his beard with a smile, having long awaited this moment, and said nonchalantly, "Our family was late in realizing the gap after the Magma Fairy Palace discovery. So I pleaded with our ancestor, who upon agreeing, granted us a talisman from the family treasury, known as the Flowing Clouds and Streaming Water Talisman. To make this talisman, our ancestors used water from an ice mountain cold spring, containing a bit of the world's spiritual nature. Hence, it helps cultivators train together, providing additional aid." The Zhou family clan leader smiled, complimenting the Ning family, while thinking the Ning family indeed had some depth. The Zheng family clan leader then said, "Brother Ning, our two families should foster closer ties. To be honest, we are completely forging a magical treasure and are in desperate need of extreme cold refinement methods. Since your family came from North Wind Country, we wonder if you could lend a hand." The Ning family clan leader stroked his beard. It's doable. However, he felt quite regretful inside. This Flowing Clouds and Streaming Water Talisman had its own spiritual nature, which helped cultivators train together well. But its usage was limited. If they could make a boat leap mountain pass talisman with its own spiritual nature, according to Ning family's secret technique, the two talismans could interact, nurturing and replenishing each other's spiritual nature. Though the accumulation would be slow, strictly limiting the usage frequency could achieve a cycle of reuse. Unlike now, using a single talisman only drained the spiritual nature without recovering. Thankfully, Ning Xiaohui, after remodifying her cultivation, was only at the first 3 levels of qi refinement, with a weak cultivation level, thus consuming less of the Flowing Clouds spirit talisman's spiritual nature. Using this talisman was a helpless measure as well. Firstly, the night of the Dharma transmission bell, Ning Xiaohui was too exhausted from talisman making and fell asleep, missing out on the 5 elements qi regulation art tailored to her. She had to use a general version understood by others, which was less efficient. Secondly, Ning Xiaohui's grandmother and the academy elder fought for many rights for her. Thirdly, the Ning family clan leader thought about competing with the Zhou and Zheng families. If Ning Xiaohui, as a leader, had poor cultivation, the Ning family would suffer greatly in the 3 families' interests distribution. Thus, the Ning family temporarily infused the Flowing Clouds and Streaming Water Talisman into Ning Xiaohui's body to help her refine mana and progress rapidly. After Ning Xiaohui rejoined, the rest of the Ning family cultivators' test results were less pleasing. Some had second-level cultivation, but most were at the first level. This was understandable, given the Ning family's recent temporary expansion. But now, in the joint test of the 3 families, every time the Zhou family elder announced results, his voice grew louder, publicly shaming the Ning family's first-level cultivators. The young Zheng family cultivators, full of vigor, often burst into laughter. The Zhou family cultivators maintained their demeanor, but the contempt in their eyes grew more evident. Ning Xiaohui's face turned livid with anger as she looked at her fellow cultivators and said coldly, "A bunch of trash." Ning Chen and Ning Yang rejoined the cultivators with defeated looks, both having peak first-level cultivation. "Since the renovation, we have been exhausting ourselves daily, reaching our limits every day. I heard the Zhang and Zhou families provide resources free of charge, but in our Ning family's renovation team, only the main branch gets such treatment. Yes, if we had such treatment and the same time, we might surpass them." Ning Chen and Ning Yang were very unconvinced. Ning Zhu stepped forward and patted their shoulders. "Watch me." Amidst the confused looks from Ning Chen and Ning Yang, Ning Zhu walked out of the group and stepped into the testing formation. The whole training field was buzzing. By this point, the performance of the 3 families was clear. Although the Ning family had many cultivators, most were only at the first level. With so many cases like this, no one expected much from Ning Zhu's performance. The light from the testing formation shone brightly. The Zhou family elder was stunned for a moment, then confirmed before announcing loudly with disbelief, "Ning Zhu, peak 3rd-level qi refinement." The whole place fell silent. Many began asking their companions what they had just heard. As Ning Zhu stepped out of the formation, he was immediately met with countless gazes. Faced with everyone, the 16-year-old boy showed no sign of fear and smiled slightly. Then he walked back to the Ning family group with his head held high, full of confidence. Many eyes followed him. Even Zhou Zeshan, Zhou Zhu, and Zheng Jian looked at him with curiosity. Who is this? How does he have such cultivation? The intelligence didn't mention this. Does the Ning family have hidden gems too? Similar questions and thoughts lingered in everyone's minds. Even the clan leaders of the three families were no exception. Usually, they wouldn't take the Qi refinement cultivators in their family so seriously. But now, with the magma fairy palace on the mountain top, the family's Qi refining cultivators were the main force in exploring the palace, so paying more attention was justified. The Zhou family clan leader looked at the Ning family clan leader. I didn't expect you to have such an ace up your sleeve, brother Ning. The Ning family clan leader stroked his beard and smiled calmly. Brother Zhou flatters me. He didn't explain much, which made the Zhou and Zheng family clan leaders exchange a look, raising their impression of the Ning family. Little did they know, the Ning family clan leader had the same doubts. Ning Zhuo's return was met with cheers from Ning family cultivators. Ning Chen and Ning Yang surrounded him with unbelievable joy. Zhuo, how did you suddenly reach the peak of the 3rd level? Yeah, you're as strong as Ning Xiaohui now. Countless ears perked up, all listening for Ning Zhuo's reply. Ning Zhuo smiled slightly. Maybe I'm just more suited for the 5 elements Qi regulation art. When I practice this technique, my progress is rapid, just like a river flowing 1,000 miles a day. Everyone fell silent. P.S. I forgot to mention, everyone, if you have monthly tickets, please save them for when this book officially goes on sale at noon on June 3rd. There will be a monthly ticket event. Thanks. Speaking of, there indeed were similar cases before. Some people were just inherently suited for certain cultivation techniques and advanced rapidly. What's his name again? Ning Zhuo, right? Talk about sheer luck, perfectly matching the 5 elements Qi regulation art. Why can't such good luck fall on me? Most people had never heard of the name Ning Zhuo, but now they were all discussing it. Within the martial training ground, Ning family's cultivators were also inquiring. Taking advantage of their proximity, many gathered around Ning Zhuo, introducing themselves with smiles all over their faces. It was as if the entire world's attitude towards Ning Zhuo had drastically changed, from cold indifference to enthusiastic warmth. Originally beside Ning Zhuo, Ning Chen and Ning Yang were both squeezed out. Ning Yang, feeling proud, raised his arm and shouted, Ning Zhuo is my classmate. A passing Ning family's young cultivator heard this and turned to sneer. Who isn't? I'm also his classmate. Ning Yang gasped and glared. Can you compare your relationship with him to mine? Ning Zhuo and I are comrades who have faced life and death together. A cultivator from the Zhou family approached, smiling at Ning Yang. Brother, I heard you and Ning Zhuo are very close. Not bad. Ning Yang nodded immediately, feigning indifference while unable to hide his pride. The Zhou family cultivator swiftly clasped his hands in respect, seeking Ning Yang's guidance. Ning Yang was about to introduce Ning Zhuo but was pulled aside by Ning Chen. Realizing the moment, he fell silent. Ning Chen then continued, Yes, the two of us are his classmates and have faced life and death together. Ning Zhuo is straightforward, honest, friendly, and brave. It's an honor to be friends with him. Moreover, he's a role model for us. I remember during our schooling. Ning Chen rambled on, boasting about Ning Zhuo. In front of outsiders, Ning Chen knew the more he praised Ning Zhuo, the more it highlighted the strength of the Ning family. Additionally, their journey in the flame demon melting cave and the subsequent exposure of the black shadow demon cultivator, hiding in the dungeon. These experiences had made them respect Ning Zhuo immensely. They were also from Ning's branch lineage and felt a strong sense of recognition and pride towards Ning Zhuo. In no time, Ning Zhuo unmistakably became the most dazzling figure on the scene. All because of a cultivation level assessment, he gained massive attention, seemingly embarking on a new trajectory in life. The testing continued. The remaining Ning family cultivators entered the testing array one by one. Their results were mediocre, drawing no attention. That didn't matter. Ning Zhuo alone had already shifted the atmosphere on the ground. The 3-family joint test was not only a presentation and assessment of each family's renovation team, but also the basis for negotiating the distribution of benefits. In the cultivation world, the higher one's cultivation level, the more they could dominate the collective. When comparing the strength of the 3 families, the primary focus was on their top cultivators. If it weren't for Ning Zhuo's performance, Ning Xiaohui would be the only peak third-layer cultivator in the Ning family, Zheng Jian for the Zheng family, and Zhou Zhu for the Zhou family. However, Zhou Zeshan also had remarkable talent, comparable to Zhou Zhu. His qi refining level was only second to Zhou Zhu, and given time, he would undoubtedly be on par with the others. Thus, the Zhou family counted as having 1.5 top cultivators, placing them first. Both the Zheng family and the Ning family had one genius cultivator each, but the other cultivators in the Zheng family significantly surpassed those in the Ning family. Following their expansion, many Ning family cultivators had only first-layer mana, making them seem like a joke, not worth mentioning. Hence, the Zheng family was second, and the Ning family was third. But with Ning Zhu's emergence, the Ning family now had 2 top cultivators, instantly elevating them to the first position. The Zhou family, with 1.5 genius cultivators, became second. The Zheng family was left behind, becoming third. After the joint test of the 3 families concluded, the Ning family clan leader returned to the family with a face beaming with joy. Although the distribution of benefits still needed discussion, with Ning Zhu's outstanding performance, the Ning family had shifted from a passive position, making the negotiation prospects bright and hopeful. The Ning family clan leader summoned the young clan leader, smiling. "Ziorin, there was good news at the martial training ground today. Have you heard?" Ning Ziorin immediately responded. "Father, I heard. I was the one who arranged for Ning Zhu to join our renovation team." The Ning family clan leader nodded. "Collect all the information on Ning Zhu and compile it for me. I want to see it." Ning Ziorin replied. "I've already ordered my subordinates to do so." The Ning family clan leader hummed in understanding. "I suspect Ning Zhu might possess some innate talent that hasn't been detected." Ning Ziorin said. "There are countless kinds of talents. Even though our family conducts tests every year, it's impossible to be thorough. Father's suspicion is reasonable. We could reevaluate our testing methods and let Ning Zhu be tested again. However, if he has a rare or peculiar talent, it's likely that it won't be detected." The Ning family clan leader nodded. "If he has talent, that's the best. Even a lower-tier talent makes him a genius. This way, our renovation team can fully compete with that of the Zhou family." Zhou Zeshan and Zhou Zhu from the Zhou family both had talent. Ning Xiaohui and Zheng Jian also had talent. In the 3-family joint test, Ning Zhu only showcased a peak third-layer cultivation level, indicating that the 5 elements qi regulation art suited him perfectly. Ning Ziorin then said, "Father, isn't it up to us to determine if someone has talent or not? Even if the test doesn't show, or if he's just particularly suited to the 5 elements qi regulation art, it doesn't matter. We can simply make an arrangement and publicly present. Yes, our family indeed has 2 genius cultivators." The Ning family clan leader shook his head. "That's not appropriate. This isn't an internal family matter and not something we can decide alone. If we forge it, the other 2 families will undoubtedly verify and test it. After all, such a power comparison affects our negotiations and distribution. Our Ning family managed to ally with the Zhou and Zheng families through the Magma Fairy Palace. We can't afford to lose credibility. If exposed, it would damage the family's standing." Ning Ziorin nodded, showing that he understood. The Ning family clan leader sighed. "If Ning Zhu indeed has talent, it also has its downsides." "Ziorin, you know what I mean, right?" Ning Ziorin nodded again. "I understand, Father. Ning Xiaohui is from our main lineage, while Ning Zhu is from the branch lineage. Though their current cultivation levels are similar, Ning Xiaohui has received substantial support from our family, while Ning Zhu hasn't. In the Ning's renovation team, the number of members from the branch lineage far surpasses those from the main lineage." On the martial training ground, once Ning Zhu revealed his true cultivation level, he was immediately surrounded and well received by the members of the Ning's branch lineage. If we further discover that he has talent, I'm deeply concerned that Ning Xiaohui might not be able to hold her position. The Ning family clan leader showed a look of relief. "Since you understand this, I'm not worried about how you'll handle Ning Zhu. Go ahead." "Yes, Father. Rest assured, I will handle it beautifully." "I shall take my leave." His feelings toward Ning Zhu were complex. 16 years ago, during the Ning family's migration, he was lucky enough to board the automated carriage of Ning Zhu's parents during their escape. To ensure the carriage's safe passage, Ning Zhu's father had to disembark and hold back the enemies. Ning Ziorin was thus saved. Ning Zhuo's father was indeed his savior, and Ning Zioran had even sworn on the spot to treat Ning Zhuo's mother and son well and fully support Ning Zhuo's future cultivation. Ning Zioran had not fulfilled this promise. Ning Zhuo's mother died 14 years ago, and during Ning Zhuo's formative years, he had hardly paid attention to him. He had originally thought that Ning Zhuo was just an ordinary child, but unexpectedly, one day, Ning Zhuo shone brightly, making a stunning impression during the three-family joint test. When he heard the good news, his first feeling was not joy but embarrassment. Still perplexed in his heart, why did it have to be him? The family courtyard was faintly in sight. As Ning Zioran walked, he sighed inwardly. How much better it would be if it weren't Ning Zhuo. 16 years old, already has his own opinions, not easy to persuade. Deep in thought, Ning Zioran recalled something Ningzi once said. Earlier, after the results of the grand ranking were announced, Ning Zioran had tried to extort money and pressured Ningzi several times. Back then, Ningzi had reported that Ning Zhuo was withdrawn and non-compliant, ignored elders, among other things. Thinking of this, Ning Zioran made a decision. In the short term, it's best not to approach Ning Zhuo directly. This kid's nature isn't something I can win over with a few words. Ning Zhuo knows his father saved my life and is aware of my indifference over these 16 years. These require a good explanation. I'll need to start with Ning Zhuo's uncle. Ning Zioran returned to his reception room and soon summoned Ningzi. Come, sit, have some tea. Ning Zioran smiled and invited Ningzi to sit beside him. Ningzi felt both surprised and uncertain. It was the first time Ning Zioran had treated him so cordially. He quickly said, If there's anything you need, young clan leader, please command me and I will do it. Ning Zioran pointed to the seat. Ningzi nervously sat down. Ning Zioran sipped his tea gently, a sigh escaping his lips. Ningzi, you have raised a good nephew. Ningzi immediately stood up. My lord, what did little Zhu do wrong? I will go back and discipline him properly. Ning Zioran widened his eyes slightly and gestured 3 times with his hand. Sit, sit. No need to worry, it's good news. As Ning Zioran explained, Ningzi, who had been sitting on the edge of his seat, gradually widened his eyes and his mouth gaped open. From the moment he left Ning Zioran's reception room until he got back home, he still wore a stunned expression. Qi refinement, 3rd layer peak. The joint test of the 3 families, he stood out, on par with Ning Zio Hui and Zheng Jian, among other geniuses. Is this Ning Zhuo? Is this still the Ning Zhuo I know? How did little Zhu accomplish this? Is the 5 elements Qi regulation art really that suitable for him? With such curiosity and confusion, Ningzi called his wife Wang Lan. Prepare a family banquet today, go to the restaurant and order some spirit food. Wang Lan asked, puzzled. Ordering spirit food costs a lot of money. Husband, what is the special occasion that deserves such celebration today? It's a family banquet inviting little Zhu over. Alas, as his uncle, I haven't seen him in a long time. Ningzi said. Wang Lan widened her eyes and exclaimed, What? Inviting little Zhu over for food and drink, and ordering spirit food. Husband, have you gone mad? Ningzi sternly retorted. Women are ignorant of these matters. This is a task given to me by the young clan leader. He then briefly recounted some of Ning Zioran's words. Wang Lan listened, stunned in place for a long time. Little Zhuo. Are you sure it's little Zhuo? Ningzi snorted coldly. How could I lie to you? Would the young clan leader deceive me? During the joint test of the 3 families, many people saw it. It couldn't be faked. Wang Lan's lips moved as if to say something, but in the end, she said nothing. Her eyes widened with a complex expression. Disbelief, denial, resentment, jealousy, and disappointment all mingled together. Ningzi's face darkened. What are you thinking? Go make the arrangements immediately, Wang Lan acknowledged. All right, husband, I will handle it right away. She turned to leave, her gaze still vacant, her walk stiff, the very picture of someone in shock. With no one else around, Ningzi let out a long sigh. He had been given strict orders by Ning Zioran to win Ning Zhu over and to try to gather some information from him. In Ning Zhu's 16 years of life, this was the first time Ningzi had humbled himself to invite him to a banquet. Ningzi valued his pride, and such an order made him uncomfortable. How could he preserve his dignity as an elder? But he had no choice. With a direct order from the young clan leader, he had to comply. Of course, his rational mind also told him that Ning Zhu was no longer the same, and maintaining good relations with him would be beneficial. After leaving the Zhou family, many people accompanied Ning Zhu a long way, even though it wasn't their direction. At the last intersection, Ning Zhu took the initiative to bid everyone farewell, only keeping Ning Chen and Ning Yang by his side. When they got home, he invited Ning Chen and Ning Yang in for tea and a brief chat. Despite the short time and limited conversation, Ning Chen and Ning Yang felt honored and elated afterward, discussing all the way how Ning Zhu had not become arrogant despite his newfound fame and still treated people sincerely. Ning Zhu waited patiently and finally received Ning Zi's invitation to the family banquet. Not from the Ning family clan leader, nor even from the young clan leader Ning Xiaoran. Ning Zhu sneered inwardly, but outwardly thanked the messenger sincerely, smiling warmly and assuring him that he would attend on time. The family banquet was lavish. In his 16 years, Ning Zhu had never had such a fine meal at Ning Zi's place. Despite the elaborate spirit food, Wang Lan couldn't eat. Throughout the banquet, she spoke little, a stark contrast to her usual chatter. She rarely glanced at Ning Zhu, as if he emitted a constant radiance that pained her heart with each look. Ning Zhai couldn't taste his food either. To him, it all happened too suddenly. Ning Zi's face was indifferent. The 16 years of maintaining his elder status weren't something he could drop all at once. Ning Zhu didn't eat or drink much. Each time Ning Zi asked him a question, he put down his cup and chopsticks, responding respectfully. His answers were brief and to the point, unwilling to talk more, a distant demeanor. Ning Zi knew well that he needed to smile, bow his head, and be more conciliatory. But until the banquet ended and Ning Zhu left, he hadn't managed to do so. Ning Zhai quietly followed Ning Zhu. He didn't even know why he was doing it. Perhaps it was his inner doubt. How could he reach the third layer peak? It doesn't make sense. Is it really the cultivation technique that's perfectly compatible? No, I need to investigate. He must have some secret. Following me? Ning Zhu had long noticed Ning Zhai behind him and deliberately slowed his pace to facilitate the latter's tracking. Under Ning Zhai's watchful eyes, Ning Zhu visited several elixir shops, purchasing a large quantity of elixirs, all for cultivation. Ning Zhai was shocked. How is he so wealthy, even richer than my father? Though he's shown his cultivation, the clan's resources haven't been allocated to him yet. Even if they were, it wouldn't be this many spirit stones. Illegitimate. His money must be ill-gotten. I need to report this. Ning Zhai was elated and quickly returned home to inform Ning Zi of the matter. Ning Xiaoran learned of the situation even before Ning Zi did. After instructing Ning Zi to build good relations, he immediately dispatched a team of cultivators to secretly protect Ning Zhu. Of course, they also intended to monitor and report back. Ning Zhu actually possessed such a huge sum. Ning Xiaoran was incredulous as he looked at the list in his hand. The list detailed the large quantities of elixirs that Ning Zhu had purchased. Ning Xiaoran's eyes flared. Had I known Ning Zhu had so much money, I should have got close to him. Did his parents secretly leave it to him? Or is the money ill-gotten, tainted, or perhaps funded by demon cultivators in secret? Ning Xiaoran paced incessantly in his study. As he pondered, the fire of his greed burned even stronger. Ning Zhu is from a branch family, now on par with Ning Xiaohui in cultivation level, and now with a huge sum of money. This money's origin is unclear. For the family's sake, I must get to the bottom of it. Besides, I don't need to act personally. I can let Ning Zi handle it. Isn't that perfectly fitting? Finally, he stopped in his tracks and called out to the door. Someone come. The attendant immediately entered. Half an hour later, Ning Zi and Ning Fan led a team of cultivators to surround Ning Zhu's small courtyard. Ning Zi frowned deeply. Do we really have to act this way? It seems inappropriate. Ning Fan replied. Didn't the young clan leader explain it clearly? The renovation team's work related to the Magma Fairy Palace is an essential matter and cannot be neglected. Ning Zhu's large sum of money indeed has an unclear origin. As his uncle, you must intervene. The family might need to rely on Ning Zhu. You are his relative and the most suitable person for this task. Go ahead. Ning Zi was from a branch family, while Ning Fan was from the main family. The latter was specifically dispatched by Ning Xiaoran to oversee the former. Ning Zi sighed and knocked on the courtyard door. Ning Zhu opened the door, respectfully saluted, and inquired about their purpose. We need to talk inside. Ning Zi, with a stern face, stepped in without waiting for Ning Zhu's invitation. The people behind him followed in a line, pushing Ning Zhu to the side. Meanwhile, The three clan leaders met again in secret to continue their negotiations. This time, they were to finalize the distribution of benefits from the joint venture of the three families. This Phoenix Soul Blood Fragrance Pill is very useful for restoring soul power. It should be equally distributed among the three families. No, the Ning family clan leader objected. Our family has two geniuses, Ning Xiaohui and Ning Zhuo. They should be adequately supplied, right? In contrast, the Zheng family has only one. The Zheng family clan leader snorted coldly. But Ning Zhu simply has a compatible cultivation technique and no exceptional talent. How is he a genius? He's not. Just then, a knock sounded. The three clan leaders' pupils constricted, their hearts pounding. Who is it? It's me, Zhu Xuanji. Ah, it's the divine hunter. The three clan leaders quickly opened the door and welcomed Zhu Xuanji in. They had stationed guards outside, but for a golden core cultivator, such a defense was meaningless. Zhu Xuanji smiled. Clan leaders, I come with a request. Zhu Xuanji had obtained detailed records from the city lord, recounting the cultivators who had entered the magma fairy palace over the years. But these were only the records from the city lord's mansion. Zhu Xuanji hoped to get records from each of the three families to piece together a more complete picture. The three clan leaders were all at the foundation establishment stage and united against the city lord's mansion. To some extent, their interests aligned with those of the royal family. The three clan leaders immediately ordered their subordinates to retrieve and deliver the records to Zhu Xuanji. Primarily from the Zheng family and the Zhou family, the Ning family had only discovered the magma fairy palace this year, so their records were minimal. Zhu Xuanji glanced at the records, nodding repeatedly, greatly satisfied. As a member of the royal family, he did not wish to see Meng Qi and Meng Chang seize the magma fairy palace and expand the Meng family's power. Thus, before leaving, he offered a piece of advice. I heard a familiar name on my way here. If you're speaking of Ning Zhuo, it might be worth nurturing this boy. In terms of character, he requires observation, but he does have some talent for mechanisms. The explosive flame monkey was designed and created by him. All three clan leaders widened their eyes, shock etched across their faces. The Ning family clan leader exclaimed, What? Zhu Xuanji smiled slightly. Outwardly attributed to Chen Cha, the head of the Flying Disc Workshop, but there's a hidden truth linked to Fei Si. Investigate and you'll find out. A single explanation sufficed. Zhu Xuanji waved and vanished, leaving the three clan leaders staring at each other. Gradually, the Ning family clan leader tilted his head back, releasing a breath of impure air, and a look of joy spread across his face. Did you both hear that clearly? This was said directly by divine hunter Zhu Xuanji. The Zhou and Zheng family clan leaders fell into silent contemplation. Unbeknownst to the elated Ning family clan leader, Ning Zhu was undergoing harsh interrogation from within the family. The cultivators of the Ning family filed in with expressionless faces, continuously pouring into Ning Zhu's small yard. They spread out to the sides, faintly surrounding Ning Zhu in the center. A few others were scattered around the residence, vigilantly surveying the surroundings. Ning Zi and Ning Fan stood in front of Ning Zhu. Ning Zi concisely explained their purpose. Ning Zhu raised an eyebrow. I do have a large amount of spirit stones, but this is my business, right? It has nothing to do with the family, does it? Do you really need to ask me about this personally, uncle? The youthful, innocent face was full of incomprehension and disbelief. Ning Fan remained silent. Ning Zi shook his head slightly, his expression stern. Little Zhu, you're still young, so it's not surprising that you don't understand these principles. You just need to tell us honestly, where did this large sum of money come from? But Ning Zhu shook his head, showing a difficult expression. Sorry, uncle, I can't say that. Ning Zi and Ning Fan were momentarily puzzled. Ning Zi lowered his voice, his expression becoming even more serious. Why can't you say it? At this critical moment you still won't say. Ning Zhu shrugged, spreading his hands, displaying both indifference and a streak of youthful stubbornness. What does it matter? It's my money. I can spend it however I like. Ning Zi became anxious. You don't understand your current situation, little Zhu. Do you think you're still the same as before? You're not. You're now a key person the family is focusing on cultivating, the second in command of the renovation team. Do you know that? Someone has reported you, saying you're spending lavishly and have a large, unknown sum of money. At the critical moment when the family wants to cultivate and support you heavily, you caused this issue. Shouldn't you explain clearly? Little Zhuo, you're thinking too simply about the world. Before, you were unknown and unremarkable. No one paid attention to you, so it didn't matter. But now you're at the peak of 3 layers. Everyone is watching you. The slightest flaw in you will be magnified and seized by those with ulterior motives, who will then criticize you fully, trying to bring you down. Now you have such a huge suspicion on you, those people will spread rumors about you, saying you got secret funding from another family, that you've been turned, and are a spy planted in our family. Shouldn't the family conduct a detailed investigation for peace of mind? Ningzi spoke a long paragraph, earnestly advising. Ningzhu fell silent, finally saying after a while, "Uncle, there are indeed many hidden truths here, but I can assure you I haven't done anything immoral. The money came from legitimate sources, my conscience is clear." Ningzi glared, almost wanting to grab Ningzhu's ear. "My words were all in vain just now. Did you listen carefully? Your clear conscience, who can prove it? Who will believe it? Fine, if you haven't done anything immoral, just say it. Now you need to prove yourself to the family." Ningzhu remained silent. "Did you listen to me at all?" Ningzi's voice raised, his eyebrows knotted tightly in frustration and anger. Ningzhu sighed and finally revealed some truth. "Uncle, you're my closest relative. You have to believe me, I really haven't done anything wrong. But about this matter, I really can't divulge it. I've made a contract with someone and I can't speak about it. If I do, I'll suffer the contractual backlash." Ningzi was stunned, his frown deepening. "What matter would make you sign such a contract with someone else?" "Oh, you child, you're really driving me crazy." Ningzi pointed at Ningzhu, his fingers trembling with anxiety. Ningzhu just lowered his head, remaining silent. Ningzi looked at him, then at Ningfan beside him, forcing a smile and speaking softly to the latter. "Brother Ningfan, may I have a word alone with my nephew?" Ningfan showed a troubled expression. "You know, I was sent here to supervise." Ningzi couldn't care less now, quickly sending a sound transmission, promising some benefits. Ningfan struggled for a moment, then nodded. "You two uncles and nephews have bright futures. I don't want to offend you, so I'll give you half a tea's time." Ningzi led Ningzhu into the room. "Go on, say what you can't say now. It's just the two of us here." Ningzi's expression was as steady as water. Ningzhu, "Uncle, what I just said is the truth. I'm not deceiving you. I indeed signed a contract with someone and can't reveal anything." Ningzi glared, pointing at Ningzhu's forehead, grinding his teeth. "Ningzhu, do you know the seriousness of this matter? The family is now focusing on you, paying great attention to you, so they specifically sent a team to investigate. To prevent any misunderstandings, they specially sent me to talk to you. Now is the best time for you to confess. If you miss it, it will be a big mistake." Ningzi took a deep breath. "Fine, even if you are constrained by a contract, it doesn't matter. Where there's a lock, there's a key. Tell me what kind of contract it is, and the family can use its power to remove it." Ningzhu shook his head. "Uncle, I think it's best not to touch this matter. Sai, if you really want me to speak, I can only tell you this matter involves a golden core expert." "What?" Ningzi was aghast, involuntarily stepping back. "You're not deceiving me, are you?" The highest combat power in the Ning family was the Ning family ancestor, a golden core cultivator. Ningzhu sighed. "How could I deceive you, uncle? So I think this matter shouldn't be investigated any further. Let's end it here. If the family doesn't trust me, I'll withdraw from the renovation team and not participate in the exploration of the Magma Fairy Palace." Ningzi, hearing this, stomped his foot in anger. "Little Zhuo, how can you speak such nonsense? It's cost me to get you into the renovation team. You think you can quit just because you want to. Even if you quit, the family will still thoroughly investigate your matter. What on earth are you doing? How did it come to this? Tell me, who is that golden core? It can't be the Black Shadow Demon Cultivator, can it?" Saying this, Ningzi's pupils contracted sharply, feeling a chill, involuntarily stepping back. The next moment, he sent a sound transmission to Ningzhu, shouting sternly, "Quick, tell me, does it have anything to do with the Black Shadow Demon Cultivator?" Ningzhu frowned. "Uncle, don't force me, I can't say it. What are you doing, signing such a contract? Oh my. Our family will be implicated by you." Ningzi was anxious, slapping his thighs. Ningzhu sighed. "Uncle, I was also forced into it." After hearing this, Ningzi inclined more towards the Black Shadow Demon Cultivator as the answer. He folded his hands behind his back, pacing back and forth, then suddenly stopped, staring closely at Ningzhu. "Little Zhu, this matter is very serious. You can't avoid it just by trying to hide. Today, we must investigate thoroughly. Don't blame me, uncle, it's really your fault." Ning Zhu was stunned and quickly said, "Uncle, it's not as serious as you think." But Ning Zi shook his head, eager to distance himself from Ning Zhu to prove himself, briskly walking outside and saying to Ning Fan, "My nephew indeed signed a contract. What should we do next? Does the family have the means to break the contract? The key is, this matter involves a golden core expert." Ning Fan was astonished. He paused for a moment, then his face darkened, saying, "This is a serious matter, but as long as the contract wasn't made by the golden core expert personally, we can start to break it." "Are you sure?" "Ning Zhu can't reveal the contract's details now, and we must continuously try. In the process, unavoidable harm may come to Ning Zhu." Ning Zi hesitated for a moment, then nodded decisively. "We were entrusted by higher-ups for this investigation, watched by the entire clan. Without doing this, how can we account for it? Do it." Ning Fan's eyes flickered. "You are Ning Zhu's uncle and the main officer of this investigation team. You have the final say. However, it would be best if Ning Zhu cooperates voluntarily. The effect would be best." Right after Ning Fan finished speaking, Ning Zhu said, "I refuse." Ning Zi turned back, glaring. "You unfilial son, this is not up to you." Ning Zi looked around and shouted, "Why aren't you moving?" Ning Fan sighed, gesturing secretly. Two burly men from the investigation team stepped out, one on each side, grabbing Ning Zhu, suppressing him easily with their mana. Ning Fan took out a magic artifact, handing it to Ning Zi. "These are the father-son rings. Wear the father ring on yourself and the son ring on Ning Zhu's wrist. You can then capture his thoughts. As they say, a father knows his son best. Though Ning Zhu is bound by a contract and can't reveal the truth, his thoughts are not restricted. We can forcibly capture the relevant thoughts from his divine sea and obtain the information. However, this may trigger the contract backlash. We'll try our best to suppress it. On the other hand, forcibly capturing thoughts itself can damage the divine sea. To avoid this, Ning Zhu should cooperate voluntarily." Ning Zhu, being restrained, could only struggle in his seat. "I refuse. I absolutely refuse." Ning Zi snorted coldly, putting the rings on both himself and Ning Zhu. "Little Zhu, you're stubborn. As your elder and closest relative, how can I let you continue making mistakes? If you cooperate obediently, you can suffer a bit less." Ning Zhu refused. Ning Zi's expression turned icy, directly activating the father-son rings. The pair of bracelets on their wrists emitted blue-white light. A strong force extended into Ning Zhu's divine sea. It was about to rampage, but collided with the Buddha Heart Demon Seal. The suction force was like a storm. The treasure seal stood like a mountain, unmoving and perfectly defending. But Ning Zhu's eyes rolled back, his body convulsing continuously in the chair, with blood streaming from his nostrils. Ning Zi's expression remained stern, single-minded in his actions. Ning Zhu, having prepared his thoughts, actively offered them, about to be captured by Ning Zi. Bang. A loud crash, the door to the house was flung open. The young clan leader, Ning Zioran, saw the scene in the hall, and his eyes nearly popped out in rage. Furiously, he shouted, "Stop!